thank you so much for being here this afternoon. We are the Gaudete Brass Quintet, and I'm especially excited to be here. Actually, a few of us have never been to Detroit, right? I know I haven't. Oh, you have. And of course, Bill is our hometown hero. You could tell from his instant likability and natural charisma, right, that he's a Khirkiyaan. That's right. Great. I do feel as though, I have to say, I actually had two siblings that went to home college in Holland, so I know about the hand thing, although I usually get it back. No, every time I flip it the wrong way. I also am a very good euchre player, so I feel like I'm like Michigan or by proxy. I don't know.
We'll take it.
We'll take it. Okay. Anyway, so our first piece, Copperwave by Joan Tower, really great. We love opening with this one. She does such cool things, sort of, playing around with the different temporal possibilities of the different brass instruments. You, of course, get to hear each one of us do a little bit of a cadenza feature of each one of the different brass instruments, which is really great. Our next piece, As a Fish Looks at the Sun by Alice Jones, is actually one of our own commissions. So really cool, of course, to get to play music that we, in fact, asked to be written. And it was Paul von Hoff here next to me that actually discovered Alice Jones. She's a flute player, but she wrote a book of trombone etudes that you had been working out of and really, really enjoyed. And so Paul contacted her and asked if she would write something for the quintet, which is, of course, now this piece that we'll be playing for you next. Really cool, something a little bit different. I think maybe because she's a flute player, it's a little bit more delicate. We're kind of asked to do some more nuanced things than we otherwise do, maybe. As brass players, we tend to be like kind of the construction workers of the orchestra. So, we get to kind of dance a little bit on this one, which is fun. So please enjoy As a Fish Looks at the Sun.
I was told earlier today that I bow too quickly after pieces, hoping that I'm waiting an appropriate amount of time. Hello, everyone. My name is Bill. I'm absolutely thrilled to be here, back in my hometown of Detroit. And I've never been in this building before. It's quite unique. I'm really, really thrilled to be here. It's a wonderful space to play in. It feels great. That last piece is a lot of fun to play. There's one marking in there instead of using adagio or andante. It just says, like you're holding on to sand, trying to grip sand. I know exactly what to do there. So moving on, our next piece is by Reena Esmail. And it's a piece that is inspired by Hindu classical music, Indian classical music, as well as has been transformed from other groups. So the first movement was written for maybe a string quartet, one was for a solo and a singer and a guitar, and one was for a choir. And the really neat thing about this piece is we got to work with a composer on it. We absolutely love working with composers on these pieces. We've worked personally with all three of these first composers, and it's been a wonderful experience. But she came in, and what her goal is to make people like us sitting up on stage who've never played any Indian classical music to write in a way where it's approachable so that if we want to try it, we can. So how she put it on the page is very clear, and it allows us the freedom to kind of make it our own within the structure she's set up. And this piece is, like we always try to do, is have every piece be just a little bit different and something new and fresh that you hear. This piece is no exception. So sitting with her for a rehearsal as we played through the piece, and she workshops it with us, and we make tweaks to make it our very own. And you know, she did say this is the pinnacle, how it should be. It's a wonderful experience working with composers, and this was no exception. So the first movement, it's very fast and lively. The second is very lyrical and introspective, and the final one is just a wild, fast ride. This is Khirkiyaan by Reena, Esmail. I hope you enjoy.
Tito was already doing it on his own before we put a name on Love Tito's.
He used to give it away as gifts and to events, which of course included charitable events.
The culture that he has started, and it all starts with Tito himself and rolls downhill.
You know what, if we can go and, take our company and support all these people that are finding meaning and purpose in their lives by doing nice things for other people that they don't even know, that makes me happy, it makes all my employees happy, then I look at it like maybe we can make a little ripple in the world,
Most businesses really use organizations to allow them to be known, and we kind of flip-flop that. We're able to use our amazing culture around us to give them support and make people more aware of what they do.
And I think that's the end goal, is to do something that has meaning and purpose.
We're here in this company to make the world a better place, and we like to think we're doing it through Tito's handmade vodka.
So we opened with a happy piece, and we're actually going to close with a really happy, joyous piece that's also just incredibly upbeat, because the next piece we're going to play, sort of the meat of the second half, is a piece that is very, very sad and very, very dark. The Songs of War and Loss by Tony Plog, based on the Civil War poetry of Walt Whitman. Obviously, you can tell by the title and the subject matter that it's going to be very intense. And I think generally, the reaction to this piece is obviously, we all have the same reaction. It's very sad, it's very dark. And I think that in some ways is what Walt Whitman was hoping for, was expecting, that we all as humans with our shared humanity have this reaction to this music. And that, I think, is what the art is actually sort of leaning into a little bit. This music, well, you have a lot of text painting, like as if you're listening to a Schubert song. Tony Plog does a lot of the same kinds of things. If the whip cracks, a trumpet, sharp articulation. If we talk about companions, we have a first major chord, or we're all in unison after a while. Things like that just are all over this piece. So some stuff to be listening for. But in addition to that, the music is also beautiful. And that's a little bit shocking, I think. It's not all beautiful. Obviously, there's stuff that gets brutal and gets intense, but there are these moments that are just incredibly gorgeous. And that feels a little out of place in a piece like this, that is this sad and this dark. And yet, I feel that as we all listen to it together and experience it, and as we perform it, you have this sense that because we're all feeling the pain together, there can be beauty in that too. And I think there are just some moments to point out. The sixth movement, this is gorgeous long solo. Maybe one of the most beautiful things I think has ever been written for the instrument. And some of the chorale writing in movement 7 and movement 3, just incredible stuff. So we don't get to do this piece very often because it's for the 5 of us and an additional singer. So I'd like to welcome Mark Watson to the stage to join us on Tony Plog's Songs of War and Loss.
I stop for no expostulation. Mind not the timid, mind not the weaver prayer. Mind not the old man, beseeching the young man. Let not the child's voice be heard, nor the mother's entreaties. Make even the trestles to shake the dead, where they lie awaiting the hearses. So strong you come, O terrible drums, so loud you blow. With its cloud of skirmishers in advance, with now the sound of a single shot, snapping like a whip, and now an irregular volley. The swarming ranks press on and on, the dense brigades press on. Glittering dimly, toiling under the sun, the dust-covered men. In columns rise and fall to the undulations of the ground. With artillery interspersed, the wheels rumble, the horses sweat. As the army corps advances, how solemn as one by one, as the ranks returning worn and sweaty, as the men file by where I stand. As the faces, the masks appear, as I glance at the faces, studying the masks, as I glance upward out of this page, studying you, dear friend, whoever you are. How solemn the thought of my whispering friend, nor the bayonet stab what you really are. Yourself I see, great as any, good as the best, waiting secure and content, which the bullet could never kill, nor the bayonet stab a friend. Some emerge on the opposite bank, others are just entering the field. While scarlet and blue and snowy white, the leaden flags flutter gaily in the Race of veterans, race of victors, race of the soil ready for conflict, race of the conquering march. No more credulity's race, abiding tempered race. Race henceforth, owning no law but the law of itself. Race of passion and the storm. must in time be utterly lost. That the hands of the the sisters, death and night, incessantly softly wash again, and ever again this soiled world. Myself is dead. I look where he lies, white-faced and still in the coffin. I draw near, bend down, and touch lightly with my lips the white face in the child nor old. Very calm as of beautiful yellow white ivory. Young man, I think I know you. I think this face is the face of the Christ himself. Dead and divine and brother of all, and here again
All right, so we come to my favorite / least favorite time of every concert. It's my favorite because we're 1 second closer to getting a glass of wine after the show and getting some food to eat. But it's my least favorite because we have one more piece to play for you all. I'd like to say first a couple of quick thank yous. First of all to Lee and Floyd, thanks so much for sponsoring, to the Baxtresser family for hosting us yesterday. It's been great to be back in Detroit. And also a special shout out to everyone on that last page of the program. All of you is what makes this possible and allows us to share some of our favorite music. So thanks one more time to all the sponsors and all the work that everyone here at Pro Music of Detroit does. So this last piece, we've shared a lot of different music with you all tonight, and something that's really important is just as we think about raising the voices of people today that are writing music today. So this last piece is by a good friend of the Quintet's and a former student of mine named Ephraim Champion. I first met Ephraim when he was a student at the University of Illinois Chicago, was an aspiring young horn player, and had a lot to say with the French horn, but also started writing music. And realized that he actually had a lot to say on that platform as well. And fast forward to a couple of years ago, we started a project where we're getting a piece written for all 77 neighborhoods in Chicago. And so we asked Ephraim, and we wanted to give him this opportunity to write a piece about his neighborhood. He grew up in the South Shore neighborhood. And he's like, great, that'd be his first ever commission, really excited about this. And we had one guideline. It had to be between 3 and 5 minutes. Because as we put this project together, we have 77 pieces, and there just has to be some time constraints. So we're like, get to work, we need it by this date. And so on that date, he sends us an email, and he's like, Scott, so I wrote the piece, is 13 minutes okay? And I was like, oh my gosh, no, so it's not. But what I took away from that was so meaningful was the fact he had so much wonderful things to say about his neighborhood. And to condense it down to 3 to 5 minutes was such a challenge. And so we, of course, made him do that just for what the project is, and we're excited to share that piece with you tonight. But he really took us on a journey. And so if you're not familiar with the South Shore neighborhood, it's about 63rd, 67th, and sort of like the lakefront in Chicago. You're going to hear buses honking their horns on Lakeshore Drive. You're going to hear some of the sort of like music of that neighborhood, some like funk-ish style music. And I think if he was here today to talk to you about his favorite pieces towards the end, where him and his wife got married at the South Shore Cultural Center. It's the same place that Barack Obama and his wife got married. And so it was just a really meaningful place for him. And so you're going to hear this really joyous and this really almost like a chorale, everyone coming together for this. So again, thank you so much for coming out this afternoon, letting us share some of our favorite music with you. We look forward to talking with you after the concert. Please let us know your favorite piece. Please let us know your least favorite piece. We'll delete it off our iPads after the concert and never play it again. But again, it's been a real treat, and thanks everyone here for coming out. Thank you to all the sponsors and to Pro Musica for having us. We hope you enjoy South Shore by Ephraim Champion.
another round of applause. There's an incredible variety of music that you heard, and I know that you'll have at least one favorite to talk about out there. I have more than one. We were actually talking about it at the intermission, and I thought I had a favorite, and well, yeah, there were so many good songs and good music, so much to choose from and so much to talk about later on. Have to thank the musicians of the Gaudete brass quintet one more time for coming out. Thank you to the composers who wrote the music. Thank you to the ensemble for showcasing that work and allowing us to hear that work. Thank you to the audience, of course, for being here because, hey, what fun is it to play and talk to ourselves sometimes? We need an audience. Thank you to all the supporters who make this possible. And I encourage you, if you are not a member of Pro Musica Detroit, definitely join Pro Musica Detroit, a great organization to be a part of, and the concert series is amazing. The next concert is going to be on February 2nd, 2024, and will feature Michael Malice in concert at the Grosse Pointe War Memorial. If you'd like to get more information about Pro Musica Detroit, we'll head over to promusicadetroit.com. And once again, I'm Cecelia Sharp, your host for the afternoon. Thank you to Pro Musica for allowing me to host these concerts. And once again, thank you. I look forward to seeing all of you in the Afterglow, at the Afterglow just upstairs. So thank you so much, and I'll see you shortly.